Once upon a time, far, far away in a small village called Kashipur in Vaishali, Bihar, there lived a woman called Mamta Devi. Her family consisted of her husband, 3 children and aged in-laws. They were poor, so very poor. They worked very hard just to make ends meet. Things were already difficult, but each day circumstances seemed to get even worse. Mamta's husband became bedridden with epilepsy. Mamta worked as a daily wage laborer during the day and at nights stayed awake wondering how she could look after her family and herself. Now she was alone, hopeless, heartbroken, and had no means. Little did Mamta know that something was happening far away in different countries that would change her life. A program had been developed in Bangladesh by an organization called BRAC to help those women who were too poor to make small weekly savings to join an SHG. In this program, poor women were carefully identified based on their level of poverty and their capacity to rise up and run a business enterprise. Over the course of 24 months, these chosen women would be given not just some money in charity, but support in the form of a means of livelihood like livestock, businesses, etc. They were given not just a means of livelihood, but also training, confidence-building sessions, weekly coaching, savings encouragement, and access to health, education services, and other government entitlement. They were also given a monthly livelihood gap assistance fund support of 1,000 rupees for 7 months till their business could stabilize. Scientific impact evaluations of the model were conducted by researchers at JPAL and IPA across 7 countries. These involved a sample of 10,000 families and used randomized evaluations. They found that the program led to sustainable increases in income, consumption, food security, and well-being 1 year after all program activities ended. In fact, in India, where Bandhan Kaunnagar was the implementing organization, continued evaluation after 5.5 years found that the women were able to generate more income through diversifying into many tiny businesses. They had begun rising out from generations of poverty. This approach is called the graduation approach. All this as yet meant little to Mamta. But then something unprecedented happened in Bihar that would arrive right at Mamta's doorstep. After the prohibition in 2016, the government of Bihar decided to create a program based on the graduation approach to help these poor whose livelihood had been affected. The government of Bihar decided to allocate 840 crores or $120 million for the program, which is called the Satat Jeevika Yojana. The whole program was deployed in close partnership with community-level institutions that endorsed the selection of the ultra-poor women, the assets, and also channeled funds to the beneficiaries. The program was designed to do something that had never been done ever before, to cover 100,000 ultra-poor households and help them graduate out of poverty. The government deployed this program themselves through Jeevika, BRLPS. Since 2006, Jeevika has been actively working to reduce rural poverty through women's collective action and have helped set up more than 10 lakh SHGs as of today. Groups of women supporting each other with savings, loans, and collectively to grow businesses and their own voice. Jeevika supported these groups of women to federate and form village organizations or VOs. The VOs are local business hubs and active community institutions and well placed to help identify, endorse, and support the poorest women in their villages. The VOs are a vital support for Satat Jeevika Yojana at the most local level. A new cadre of frontline workers were trained and equipped with a mobile phone app specifically to deploy the Satat Jeevika Yojana program. They also arrived at Mamta's village. Mamta joined a confidence-building course, a livelihood planning process, and weekly coaching and mentoring, where she learnt about the options available to her under the program. She expressed her desire to learn goat rearing and participated in a 3-day enterprise development training on livestock. She was also given financial assistance to buy a goat and buffalo. This is the real story of Mamta Devi from Kashipur. 2 years into the program, her combined assets have increased substantially to a current value of 33,550 rupees or $440, and the family now receives a consistent income of 5,000 to 6,000 rupees or $66 to $79 per month from the sale of milk and manure. More than 1 lakh poor like Mamta have already been touched by this incredible program. Never before has a government operationalized the graduation approach at such a large scale, integrated with community institutions.